Hi, and welcome to Accent Excellence. I'm Chuck Lionberger. Coming up on this month's show, we're going to tell you about some important events that are coming up here at Roanoke County Public Schools, including kindergarten registration, our student registered apprenticeship program, and we'll tell you more about the expansion of recess in our elementary schools. We're kicking off 2019 with Accent Excellence next.
This is who I am. I can't do it alone. I'm a good person, and the truth is, I break the law. I ignore what my parents taught me, and I thought everything they said was a joke. No longer can it be said that I am my own person. I'll tell you one thing for sure. I've become a slave to the drinking crowd. I refuse to accept that I can be confident in myself and be popular without beer or drugs. A person like me can easily be forgotten. But wait, what if that's all wrong? What if I don't have to be forgotten? A person like me can easily be popular without beer or drugs. I can be confident in myself, and I refuse to accept that I've become a slave to the drinking crowd. I'll tell you one thing for sure. I am my own person. No longer can it be said that I thought everything they said was a joke. I ignore what my parents taught me, and I break the law. The truth is, I'm a good person. I can't do it alone. This is who I am.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining me now is Karen Garlow. She's our supervisor of school counseling here at Roanoke County Public Schools. And Karen, we're into 2019. The new year has come, and that means the new school year, the 2019-20 school year, is actually coming up sooner than we think. And there's a lot of things that parents need to be thinking about and getting ready for the start of the new school year, especially our very newest parents, our parents of kindergartners, who will be coming and joining us at the start of the 2019-20 school year. And so we've got a registration kickoff that's coming up next month in February for folks to start registering their children for kindergarten. But there's quite a few things that are involved in registering children for kindergarten. So first and foremost, I thought we'd take a second to talk about some of the things that parents need to do. There's a lot of documentation and things that need to be they need to bring with them when they come and register. So let's kind of ask the first question: how do parents register their child for kindergarten?
So first off, they need to go to the school where they live. They need to bring certain documentation with them. First and foremost, a birth certificate for their child. They need to start digging for residency paperwork, like mortgage, lease, things like that. Also, go ahead and make those doctor's appointments so you can get your physical for your child and up-to-date immunizations. We need all four of those pieces in order to get them registered for kindergarten.
So there's a lot of kind of homework that has to get started right off the bat. And one thing that's important to note, that a driver's license, that doesn't count when it comes for residency, doesn't it?
It does not. We really need to get a mortgage, lease, and then provide one other piece of documentation, something like a utility bill, some other bill that you get at your residence that shows your address, but it cannot be a driver's license, unfortunately.
And we have a whole list of a number of documents that are available on the Roanoke County Public Schools website. You can go straight to the website, click on Parents and Students, and then Kindergarten Registration to see a list of all the documents and all the other things that are important to bring to kindergarten registration. And we really encourage parents to go ahead and register now,
yes,
as opposed to waiting over the summer, and there's a really good reason for that.
Well, it's important to get your child in and get them registered. It's really important so we can see how many kindergartners are coming, and also get them ready for the screening process. We like to see if they are actually ready for kindergarten, so that you can be making choices about where they would go if they, in case, weren't ready for kindergarten.
And that's kind of where the next piece of this is. Let's talk about the law very quickly. The law says what when it comes to registering for kindergarten?
So if your child turns 5 by September 30th, then they are eligible for a public school. And sometimes parents think about that, even though their child might turn 5 by that point, maybe emotionally or socially they're just not quite ready. So it's important to be thinking about this and trying to figure out ahead of time if you think your child is prepared.
Because in many respects, Karen, that's kind of really the biggest question of all. Sure, the how do I register is important, but the more important question is my child really ready for kindergarten? Because just because they meet that age requirement doesn't necessarily mean that the child is ready to enter kindergarten. And there are a number of look-fors that parents can can kind of keep an eye out for?
Yeah, so I would be looking at my child and trying to see, do they recognize letters somewhat? Not every letter, but some of them. Can they write their name? Can they count objects? You know, that one-to-one correspondence of being able to count objects, not just counting to 10. Also, are they able to take care of themselves? You know, can they dress themselves? Can they take care of their bathroom needs? Things like that. This all goes into making sure that they're physically and cognitively ready for kindergarten.
And it's okay to wait, isn't it?
It absolutely is. There's going to be lots of things that they learn in kindergarten. There's going to be room for improving fine motor skills, cutting and gluing and holding a pencil correctly. But also, some kids just aren't socially ready. Sometimes they haven't quite learned how to sit for long periods of time. Maybe they struggle with getting along with peers. Maybe they just aren't quite ready for the structure of the kindergarten day. Preschool helps a lot in helping kids get ready for kindergarten, but some children aren't able to go to preschool. And so you could be working at home with your students on some of these things. Like, for instance, work on following directions. That's a big thing they do in kindergarten. So practice multi-step directions with them. Like, for instance, Chuck, I want you to go get your shoes, and then I'd like for you to put them on. Giving them two-step directions and seeing if they can follow through with those. Working on peer relationships. If they have brothers and sisters, maybe they can practice playing a game with them. If they unfortunately don't have siblings, then maybe just some play dates with other kids. Working on those very important skills that help them prepare for kindergarten.
If parents have questions, where should they turn?
I would go directly to the school. They have screening devices that are available. They like to screen kids that are coming in to register for kindergarten, and it has a variety of skills to see if the child is ready. So I would go directly to the school and see if they could go ahead and get signed up for the screening.
Kindergarten and starting of school, it's a very exciting process.
It is.
And we really want our parents, our new parents, and our new students to really start that school year off with success. And so we hope that this is helpful for you for not only registering, but also really kind of answering that big question of, when is it time? Is my child really ready? And again, we have lots of resources for you available on the Roanoke County Public Schools website. Just click on Parents and Students and then Kindergarten Registration. So Karen, thanks so much for being with us. And folks, stay right there. We still have a lot more Accent Excellence still to come. Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining me is Kevin Burcham. He's our Supervisor of Health and PE here for Roanoke County Public Schools. And Kevin, we're into 2019 now. Spring, believe it or not, is going to be around the corner in just a couple of months here, which means kids will be heading back outside and really getting involved and being active outside. And we've got some very exciting information for parents about recess in our elementary schools and more recess.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited about what we're going to be able to do. We've basically doubled our recess time for elementary students. Most days, those students are going to be getting 40 minutes of recess a day and unstructured physical activity, and the county's really seen the benefit in this, and we're excited about being able to offer that to our students.
So let's kind of walk through a little bit of this. It's something that we've actually already implemented now. It's been going on now for a while, and to be honest, has been very well received.
Yeah, from all different groups. Not only, of course, the students are going to love it, but we've got great feedback from teachers, administrators, parents are definitely on board and very excited about it as well. And there's just so much research out there that shows the benefits that we see from letting our kids be active and getting energy out and unstructured play, and not just physical benefits, but the mental, emotional benefits, social benefits. Executive functioning, things that people don't think about a whole lot. We think about physical activity just being the physical side of the benefits, and there's so much more to it that we've seen. So we're very excited that we have that opportunity.
And this is something that, that we brought to the board fully supported. This took a little bit of time, though, to kind of work out, didn't it?
Yeah, we wanted to do it right. We wanted to make sure that we were ready to implement it in each of our schools, and we wanted all the stakeholders to have a say in what we did. So we made sure as we went through and vetted the system that it was working in each school system, or each elementary school, I should say. And I think that really helped with the buy-in, and it gave people time not to feel like they were pushing it in there and rushed to do it. So it did take a little bit of time, but I think we did it the right way, and gave time for everybody to make sure they incorporated it into their schedules the best they could.
And that was one thing that, this is, while it is something that is going on at all the elementary schools, it's also going to be a little bit different at each elementary because each elementary school is a little unique.
Yes. We have guidelines that we want to follow county-wide, but we also wanted to give some flexibility to each school. So, for instance, we would love for the recess periods to be split into two 20-minute periods, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. In most cases, that has been possible, but there's going to be some situations and some schedules where it might not work out to be perfectly 20 and 20, an afternoon and morning necessarily, but maybe 15 one time and 25 another time, or they might be the beginning of the morning, end of the morning. But for the most part, we're going to follow those guidelines. We also incorporated weather guidelines to help the teachers know when is it okay to go outside for, wind chill factor, heat index, factoring into that. And I feel like we've got a good policy, a good guideline to follow there.
The studies, and you talked about them earlier, the research is really, really clear that the more kids are able to be physically active, the better they are educationally in the classroom.
Absolutely. It helps in so many ways, holding attention and kids being able to encode the information that they're learning in the classroom. They're able to kind of process it during that time where the brain is active. And when you're physically active, you've got so many more synapses and things firing in the brain. And that's really when we see the benefit of what we get academically in the classroom. And also, behaviorally, it lets kids get that energy out. We see less behavior issues in the classroom. We have less transition time. It kind of speeds that up, and the classroom becomes much more efficient. So even, some people may say you've got less instructional time, but really our instructional time becomes more efficient because we're getting more accomplished, even though we might be in that classroom less time because we've expanded the recess. There's so many benefits that we could go into. It would take up the rest of our segment here.
Yeah. Now, and it's important to remember that we're talking about, this was the unstructured time, and it's very important for recess to really be unstructured.
Yeah, absolutely. We have our physical education classes where we are more structured and more teacher-led and teacher-driven. When we're in recess, we want the kids getting to make choices, and it really has shown the benefit when kids have that time. They get to be unstructured. They don't have somebody telling them what they have to do. That's really when they get to do those executive functioning things that we see where they're getting to make choices. They're learning to communicate with their friends. They're learning to cooperate, to take turns, to share, to change from one task to another. There's just so many things that are life skills that they actually do when there's not somebody directing them to do this, then this, then this. And they're able to go out and do that on their own. And it's been really exciting to see those opportunities.
It really leads to a lot of sort of self-starting and self-control.
Absolutely, yes. Self-regulation is a big part of this as well, and that's what this does. We start even in our pre-K programs here in Roanoke County really working on self-regulation for kids and how to do that. And those kids, when they have that unstructured time, they have to figure it out themselves. They have to make whatever they're going to do, whatever play they're doing, they've got to make it work. So they set the rules, they figure out how to share and take turns, and that all, factors into this.
Now, switching over to the structured time, and this is something that sometimes parents maybe misunderstand or don't quite fully understand. PE, the P part is important, but our PE teachers are physical education teachers. There's a lot of education that takes place during those structured PE classes.
Oh yeah, they're doing more than just games and activities. There's a lot of content. We have a lot of health content that goes into our PE classes. So they may be doing a tag game or something that you see in class. You think maybe they're just playing a game, but a lot of those lessons have health content, and maybe they're working on body systems, or they're working on nutrition or something like that that's incorporated into that physical activity. So that's totally different realm there when we talk about the structured versus the unstructured.
Right. And even enhancing in the core curriculum as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we do a lot of activities that incorporate math skills, a lot of literacy skills with the early learners especially. So that's definitely a big focus of our elementary teachers, and I'll say that across the board, our elementary PE teachers are doing a great job with that.
And it has, again, like the studies have shown about getting kids to get the energy out, the kinetic movement associated with content often leads to not just better learning, but more efficient, more effective learning.
Yeah, and a lot of kids learn kinesthetically. So when they're moving and they're kind of relaying a topic they've been working on in class to PE class now, and they're doing the same concepts, but they're up moving and active when they do that. It gives different types of learners different opportunities to encode that information. So you may have learners who are very auditory or very visual, but then you have a lot of learners that are kinesthetic. So it gives different learners different opportunities, and I think that's very important.
It's another great opportunity, again, how we are making sure that, yes, we are treating the academic side of our students, but also treating and really making sure that the whole child is learning, growing, and flourishing. So, Kevin, thanks so much for being with us. And folks, stay right there. More Accent Excellence is still to come.
It is important for both restaurants and homeowners to help keep our waterways clean and safe. Never pour cooking oil or grease into sinks, parking lots, or streets. The oil and grease can enter our waterways through storm drains. Always try to recycle the oil and grease or put it into the trash. If you have a spill, clean it up by using a drying agent like cat litter. Never hose down spills. Keep dumpster and trash can lids closed. Restaurants should clean floor mats and garbage cans in a mop sink. It's easy to keep our waterways clean by doing the right thing.
A house will always look like a house, but what makes a house a home?
Laughter,
Kindness.
Oh, there it is.
love.
Hope.
Family.
Could you provide a home to a local youth in need?
Learn more about foster care today and help make a house a home.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining me is Jason Sir. He's our Director of Career and Technical Education, or CTE, here at Roanoke County Public Schools. And Jason, we've kicked off 2019, and we're kicking it off in a big way here at Roanoke County Public Schools with our student register. I'm just going to restart on that since I goofed. Reset, start, 3, 2. Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining me is Jason Sir. He's our Director of Career and Technical Education, or CTE, here at Roanoke County Public Schools. And Jason, we've kicked off 2019. We've had a great start to the new year already, and we're really getting things going very quickly with our Student Registered Apprenticeship Program. We've got a big event coming up in February. What's that?
That's right. On February 5th, we've scheduled another showcase, and we're calling it a Student Registered Apprenticeship Showcase for our sponsors and the sponsor companies who are partnering with Roanoke County Public Schools to offer these apprenticeships. Will be available the evening of February 5th to discuss with students and parents. We hope that a lot of people will come out to explore these possibilities of workplace-based learning that we're offering within Roanoke County Public Schools.
Okay, so let's do a quick bit of catch-up for those who may not be familiar. Yeah. What is the Student Registered Apprenticeship Program? Student Registered Apprenticeship is, in a nutshell, an opportunity for students to be employed by our business partners, we call them sponsors, and those
students get to go out during the school day in varying degrees, depending on the availability of their schedule, to work with these companies in paid positions, learn about the company, learn the ways of the company and the specific skills that are required, and begin the apprenticeship program as early as a junior in high school, or as soon as they turn 16. They can work then towards the final journeyman's card that is commonly associated with an apprenticeship.
This has been very popular so far. We are getting ready, and all of this is starting for the third year of the apprenticeship program. We're really started off with a bang, again, thanks to our key partner, the Water Authority.
That's right. Water Authority came alongside us going back 2 years now, and we partnered with them. They partnered with us, and we started with 5 students in the apprenticeship program. This current school year, this is our second full year. We have 24 apprentices with 8 different partners. So we're excited about the growth. We're growing it at a rate that we feel is manageable, and we have some really top quality partners and sponsors that we're working with. And then for the next school year, the 2019-2020 school year, we're working hard to build more relationships with business and industry. And on the night of the February 5th showcase, we hope to have anywhere from 12 to 15 sponsor companies coming alongside, showcasing what they have to offer, and giving students and parents an opportunity to feel things out.
Now, back in December, we held kind of the first of these showcases, and I tell you what, we were all just blown away with the attendance.
That's right. We had 7 companies represented. 5 were current sponsors, and 2 new sponsors decided to come to that event, and we were pleasantly surprised. Within that hour and a half, we had our tally had 40 students show up with parents and sometimes siblings, exploring the opportunities available.
Why is it then, again, thinking about the event in February, why do we recommend students and parents come out to this showcase to learn more this far in advance?
Well, it's very important, especially this coming February 5th showcase, that parents and students come out to explore the options, because the timeline is then going to be pretty tight in order for parents and students to be able to visit with companies and then begin the application and interview process, which is associated with getting a placement in one of these apprenticeships. So that timeline in the spring starts ticking right after the February 5th showcase.
So really, it's, now's the time. In fact, this is the final showcase. This is the final opportunity to do so.
That's correct. So this opportunity is going to be where we showcase the options available, and from that point forward, there's going to be a timeline moving rather quick towards placing students in those apprenticeship spots.
We have really seen, as you mentioned, the apprenticeship program not only grow in the number of students, but also in the number of sponsor organizations, and there's a growing breadth of the different types of industries represented.
That's correct. We have quite a few sponsors that are associated with the building industry, but there's a wide range within that construction industry of apprenticeships available. We also have manufacturing well represented. Water Authority, of course, is unique in and of itself because of the skills required there to be able to run and operate a clean water facility or a wastewater facility. Yes, there's quite a variety of offerings, and again, we're excited about the number of companies joining up with us in this endeavor.
This is all about opportunity, and these apprenticeship programs are all about creating opportunities for students. Walk me through a little bit about why an apprenticeship? What's the benefit? What's the opportunity it presents to students?
Well, I hope I can list them all. I don't know if that's possible. There's some obvious benefits, and that is, while the students in school being able to get a head start towards a possible career, in the meantime, while working for the company, being able to have different benefits afforded them, including, once they're done with the apprenticeship, possibility of the company paying for furthering their education, and a student being able to further their education without accruing a massive debt load, as we know is a major issue in our country right now. So these type of opportunities present all kinds of unique situations for the students to get into. able to apply what they're learning in high school in the classroom setting. They're able to take, in a lot of cases, that information to the work site and be able to apply it, see the application of why they're having to learn certain things in high school. So there's just a lot to it and a lot of positives.
It's another great example. And again, we always talk about opportunity ready and providing career pathways for students, and the Registered Apprenticeship Program is another great way and a great opportunity for students to become and get to that career whichever way they want to make it.
That's right, and it might start off as an apprenticeship working towards a layman's spot in the company, but if not all, most of our companies have said students are more than able to explore other options within the companies, and most often these companies have opportunities in careers that might vary from the initial apprenticeship. So as the student decides and is able to see things within the company, they say, well, I've got this credential, I'm working towards this, but I really like to maybe be an engineer, while the company might provide a way to get to that spot.
And it really, we do talk about this a lot, especially for even parents that maybe the Registered Apprenticeship Program is not something that they're interested in. The whole idea of think about that career pathway, then consider how you want to get to that point. College is an option. It's a great option, but it's not the only option.
Right, and it's not the only option directly out of high school. These type of opportunities with the apprenticeships afford the student time to explore their interests, explore their likes and dislikes, and be able to tailor the education, because most students are going to go on and further their education at a 2-year school, at a 4-year school. Some way along the line they're going to further their education, but they're not going to waste time exploring options, paying heavy college bills in that exploration process.
So there's a lot of great opportunities. And again, for more information about not only the Student Registered Apprenticeship Program, but all of our various CTE programs, you can find a lot of information on the Roanoke County Public Schools website, and of course the registration guide as well. So Jason, thanks for being with us. Again, we want you to come out to that Student Registered Apprenticeship Showcase. It's coming up on February the 5th, and you'll find information about that also on the Roanoke County Public Schools website. Don't go anywhere though, we've got a lot more Accent Excellence still to come.
The Roanoke County Sheriff's Office presents RAD, the Rape Aggression Defense Program. RAD is a comprehensive self-defense course only for women that begins with awareness, prevention, risk reduction, and avoidance, while progressing to the basics of hands-on defensive training. Students must attend all 4 classes to complete the course. Simulation is strictly voluntary, and students can complete the course if they choose not to volunteer, but they must be present. For more info, call 540-283-3107.
If you would like to adopt a pet, did you know that you can also go to the RCACP website and their Facebook page to look at pets for adoption? It's easy to do. Simply go to their website at rcacp.org or visit their Facebook page. Both sites include information and pictures of animals waiting to be adopted. Help make a difference in the life of a pet today. Adopt from the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this first episode of Accent Excellence for 2019. We do want to remind you that coming up on March the 23rd at 9 a.m. is the 6th annual Backpack Run. That'll be down at Green Hill Park. We'll have our traditional 5K, but new this year, a 10K race as well, and finisher medals. So you want to make sure you register for that. You can find out more information online at www.supportroanokecountyed.org. Of course, anytime you're looking for more information about Roanoke County Public Schools, be sure to check out our website. And we have a new website address. It's www.rcps.us. I'm Chuck Leinberger. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.